Years ago, he left his parents with nothing but a promise: one day, I'll come back and give you everything you ever needed. Years later, he became rich enough to buy a beautiful home, a luxury car, and anything money could provide. But when he finally returned to the small village where he grew up, he expected to find his parents waiting proudly at their front door. Instead, he saw something that shattered his heart: his elderly mother standing at a neighbor's house, quietly begging for a bowl of rice. Before we begin this emotional story, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Miracles, like this video, and comment below where you're watching from. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that remind us how powerful kindness can be. Many years earlier, a boy named Daniel lived with his parents in a tiny house at the edge of a quiet rural town. His father, Samuel, worked long hours doing construction jobs, while his mother, Maria, took care of their home and raised Daniel with love. They had very little money, but they never allowed poverty to steal their kindness. Whenever a hungry neighbor came to their door, Maria shared whatever food they had. If Samuel earned enough for only one good meal, he would still give part of it to someone who needed it more. Daniel often wondered why his parents gave away food when they barely had enough themselves. One evening, when there was only a small amount of rice left in the kitchen, Daniel asked his mother, "Why do you keep helping everyone when we're struggling too?" Maria smiled and gently touched his face. "Because, my son, hunger is painful, but feeling forgotten is even more painful. If we can make someone feel cared for, we should." Daniel never forgot those words. As he grew older, he became determined to change his family's life. After finishing school, he left the village and moved to the city with only a small suitcase and a few dollars in his pocket. The first years were difficult. He slept in a tiny rented room, worked exhausting jobs, and sometimes skipped meals so he could send money home. His parents always told him not to worry about them. "Save your money, Daniel," his father would say. "Build your future." Daniel worked harder. Eventually, he started a small business repairing electronic equipment. At first, he had only a few customers. Then his reputation grew. His business became successful, and within several years, Daniel was a wealthy man. He bought a beautiful house and built a company with dozens of employees. But through all his success, he remembered his parents. Every month, he sent them money. Yet whenever he called, his mother would say, "We have everything we need, sweetheart." Daniel believed her. He planned a surprise. He wanted to return home, buy his parents a new house, and finally bring them to live near him. One warm morning, Daniel packed his bags, got into his car, and drove toward his childhood village. He imagined his mother crying with happiness and his father proudly hugging him. But when he arrived, something felt wrong. The old family house looked worn and quiet. The garden was overgrown, and the wooden fence was falling apart. Daniel stepped out of the car and looked around. "Mom? Dad?" There was no answer. Then he heard a faint voice coming from a nearby house. He followed the sound and stopped suddenly. His mother was standing outside the neighbor's door, holding an empty metal bowl with both hands. She looked thinner and older than he remembered. The neighbor, an elderly woman named Mrs. Green, was holding a small bag of rice. Daniel froze as he heard his mother say, "I'm sorry to bother you again. I just need enough rice to make something for my husband." Daniel's heart dropped. "Mom?" Maria turned around. Her eyes widened. The bowl nearly slipped from her hands. "Daniel?" She stared at her son as if she were seeing a ghost. Daniel rushed toward her. "What are you doing here? Why are you begging for rice?" Maria lowered her eyes. "I didn't want you to worry." Daniel looked at the small bag of rice in her hands, then at his mother's worn clothes. "You told me everything was fine." Tears filled Maria's eyes. "You were working so hard. You were building your life. I couldn't keep asking you for money. Daniel shook his head. But I sent money every month. His mother remained silent. Then Mrs. Green gently spoke. Daniel, your father became sick last year. Most of the money you sent was used for his medicine. Your mother never told you because she didn't want to become a burden. Daniel looked toward his childhood home. Where is Dad? Maria pointed toward the house. He's inside. He's too weak to work now. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. He realized that while he had been counting his success in dollars, his parents had been counting every grain of rice. He had believed sending money was enough, but he had forgotten to truly ask how they were doing. He hugged his mother tightly. I'm sorry, Mom. I should have come sooner. Maria cried against his shoulder. You don't have to apologize, my son. You worked hard because you wanted to help us. Daniel wiped his tears and turned toward Mrs. Green. Thank you for helping my mother. The neighbor smiled. Your mother helped me many times when I was struggling. Years ago, when my husband died, she brought food to my house. She never asked for anything in return. Today, I'm simply returning the kindness she once gave me. Those words changed Daniel forever. The next day, he took his parents to the city for medical care. He hired a nurse to help his father and arranged for their old home to be completely repaired. But Daniel did not stop there.